Well, today sucked.
I had a good day.
My doctor told me I'm going deaf. The news was frankly pretty hard to hear.
Okay, welcome to episode 34 of Bros, Bumps, and Beers. I am Pat, the EST of Triple B Gagne. He's Matt Two T's Gagne, and looking very sad, the shirtless wonder, Jordan, the Jackhammer Schofield. Hi, guys.
I was gonna say you both look big sad, like real big sad.
I'll start first. I'm not big sad because they lost.
Who's they, Pat? We need context.
I'm sorry, the Buffalo Bills. I'm a big Bills Mafia guy. Long story of why I like the team. You could read it on my blog that doesn't exist. I'm not going to get into it. But it was just, there was so much, everybody was jumping on the bandwagon. Everybody wanted the Bills to win.
I had Bills money line. I thought they were going to.
And there was this little thing in the back of my head, back of my mind, where it was like, oh man, we're playing Patrick Mahomes. We're going to have to be perfect all game.
Patrick Mahomes is really good at football.
I think they're going to win it again. I can't believe I said that.
And you know what? It's just I'm sad, but I'm not frustrated because it's like you're losing to Patrick Mahomes, man. What am I going to do? Get pissed off that we lost to the best quarterback in the league? I mean,
Jordan lost to the best quarterback of all time.
I lost to the most accomplished quarterback of all time.
No, I think he's the best of all time.
I lost to the most accomplished quarterback of all time.
He's the best quarterback of all time, Jordan. Just say it. It's okay to say it.
I think he's if you're going to round everything up together, he's the best because he's won 6 Super Bowls, Tom Brady, but he's not if we're talking skill, I don't even think he's top 5.
Yeah, but that's do you need it?
Yeah. In terms of talent and overall talent, guys who could run and throw.
No, like that. No, I agree.
But he's the best. He's the GOAT because he's won 6, possibly now 7 Super Bowls.
But I mean, you need to have
this
the
is
mental.
His 10th, right? This
will be I think the 10th he's been in. Yeah. He's currently 6-3.
I saw the funny stat. He has been to the same amount of NFC championship games
as Aaron Rodgers. No.
As
Aaron Rodgers.
He's won the same amount as
won them the same
Aaron
amount.
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I think
it's really hard to win in the NFL unless you're Tom Brady.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's Tom Brady. He wins all the time, but guys are accomplished like Drew Brees. How many Super Bowls does Drew Brees have?
One.
How many does Aaron Rodgers have?
One.
Most
guys don't have 2. Marino didn't have any.
It's you know what I mean? Football, it's very cut and dry. I think you are the best if you can get over that 2 Super Bowl hump. Trent Dilfer has a fucking Super Bowl ring.
Brad Johnson has a Super Bowl.
So, I mean,
I want you both to say it. I want you both to say it out loud. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback to ever put a helmet on.
Yeah, Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time.
Hey, look, as a Bills fan,
thank you.
Big sad, big hurt all the time. Tom Brady's the greatest. He's up there with Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, but he didn't do jack. Anyone who tells you Tom Brady was godly in this Packers NFC Championship game, just unfollow them, kick them in the nuts.
No, I don't think you have to say that.
But you know what? That. Here we're on the GOAT conversation. The GOAT.
No.
Be the GOAT. Winning follows you when you're the GOAT. Winning just follows you sometimes.
Listen, we don't need to talk about Tom Brady being the GOAT because that's a fact. We know that. That's fine. The Bills.
I'm talking of all sports though.
Yeah, we can have that's a massive discussion, and I don't think that was the plan.
No,
but if we want to go down that road, I think maybe there is a fun argument to be made. You just take the best player from all 4 sports and or 4 major sports and figure out who the best one is ever. Yeah, maybe we can have that run. The Bills, that was extra depressing because they got fucking murdered. And I don't know what's worse is your team just got murdered and you're like, oh my God, it's they didn't even show up. What's the point? Or you go the Packers route where you just take out a gun and just repeatedly fire it into your own fucking foot. So the 4 main things I saw online, I'm going to be really fast. 1, anyone who's bitching about reffing in that game can suck it. The refs were consistently terrible. I don't care if reffing is good or bad. I don't care if it's good or bad. It's consistent. I will hear an argument for that last holding call, but it was against Kevin King, and I will fucking talk about him later. The other thing I will say is, like, if you're going to fumble and the ball's going to get returned to your fucking goal or almost your goal line, or you're going to throw a pick and that ball's going to end up in the end zone, you're probably going to lose. Okay? So costly turnovers. Going for 2, down 28-3. 1, shouldn't have fucking did it, because if you miss it, you're down 5, and it creates the scenario that we saw at the end of the game.
Jordan's big mad.
Not only that, if you're going to go for it, catch the fucking ball when the Hall of Fame quarterback nails you in the chest with it in the end zone. Equinemius St. Brown. And what kind of name is Equinemius? Now, that's all lower shit. That's all lower shit.
I just asked Jordan, do you have this all written down?
No.
You keep looking to the side. Do you have it on your phone?
It's all fucking above. Kevin King, number 20,
filed up there,
and Mike Pettin can walk. Mike Pettin's the D coordinator. Can walk off. If it was a flat earth, I'd want them to walk off the edge of it. Okay? Since it's round, fire them into the sun. All right? Cover 1 at the end of the half is terrible. Kevin King made high school mistakes on the 2 routes that Tom Brady just floated to the fucking end zone for Mike Evans to catch. And that, in my opinion, like, that's when Green Bay lost, because those are 14 points off uncontested BS easy plays that, like, my fucking high school football team, our kids get coached not to make the mistakes Kevin King made today. So that Kevin King this was his contract year. He literally just set his money on fire. It was like the Joker gif where he just like is laughing and he throws. That's what Kevin King.
Great movie.
So that's why I was like, I wasn't even all that. I'll be honest. I thought Green Bay played really well, except this is where it is. It's like, I thought they played really well. Like, they won a lot of things that typically win you a football game in terms of like time of possession and stuff. But when you have a guy on your team who exists named Kevin King, who just gives up free touchdowns like Oprah's giving out fucking cars, you're going to lose the game because you're playing a really good team. And so he's like, for me, it's like him and Mike Pettin is 1 and 1A. And the other 3 things I mentioned can be like, not great, but like, sure, that'll happen in the course of a football game. So yeah, I mean, there I am.
Jordan's upset. Like, am I upset? Yeah, because you don't want your favorite team to lose. No one's like, so it's just the way it is. The Bills are going to be good for a long time, but they're always going to have to play Mahomes, and that's the shitty part. We're all going to have to deal with Mahomes. Once Tom Brady retires, that side of the league is wide open for who can win. Mahomes, fuck me. I hate the guy because he's so good. He's one of those guys. What Jordan did, though, was a good example of a very controlled reaction to a sporting event. Okay.
By the way, Jordan, I'd like to applaud you.
Yeah,
I thought
sound thinking. Not just saying stupid shit all the time.
And I know you well, and I feel like that could have went in a completely different direction.
You know what?
We could have been here for 4 hours.
I live that sport and coach that sport. It's like a big part of my life. When the Packers lost to the Seahawks and the guy tried to recover the onside kick, whose job it wasn't to do it, that was a different level of rage, because that was like the Packers literally played well, but a couple people made hilariously terrible mistakes that cost them the game. That will happen in team sports. I would actually be madder, just to succinctly put it at the edge, Pat. I would be madder if what happened to me, if our games were reversed, because like last year, Green Bay played the Niners and didn't even show up in the NFC Championship game. This game didn't feel like that to me. It just felt like there was just a few people who decided to have the worst performances of their career, and that cost the Packers a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And that I'm a lot less mad for that, because the team was prepared. They came out, they played well, and in team sports where there's 11 moving parts on either side of the ball, it's just not going to go your way sometimes. Yeah. And they went 13-4. Like, I have a lot of people who would trade places with me in a heartbeat. The Packers win a lot. I'm also like not dumb to realize that like that's pretty fun to watch your team win a fucking lot.
But then you have Aaron, I hate my family, Rodgers, have his press conference. I don't know what's going to happen in the offseason. Your quarterback is the nicest. is a really good football player. He's a huge bitch as a human being.
He can be a bit. He can definitely.
He's a huge bitch. But moving on, we're gonna move off the Packers.
Oh, and the best part was all the beat writers. Well, the guy was probably just shook. Like, I'm not gonna roast him. He was probably shook up about losing. You're allowed to be upset. You're allowed to be upset about losing.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen in the offseason.
His contract. Well, Pat, because you don't know that his contract jumps 4 times his current value. So they're not going to let him go, but it changes the team significantly.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you know what? Now we're going to take some time. I'm bringing up the Packers salary cap. We're going through it line by line.
No, we're not. No, we're not doing it.
But speaking of...
We were fine.
Speaking of transactions, though, big Winnipeg news. If you were living under a rock, I don't know where you've been, but early morning Saturday, Patrick Laine, Jack Roslovic sent to the Columbus Blue Jackets in exchange for Pierre-Luc Dubois, or as the Winnipeggers are now calling him, PLD, okay, and a 3rd-round pick. Now,
so Jordan real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Pierre-Luc Dubois wanted out. Laine wanted out.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted. So now Pierre-Luc Dubois is coming to the Ohio.
Someone tweeted that, and I disagree with that entirely. As someone who spent a decent amount of time in both places,
do you find them both entertaining, or?
Ohio is where Ohio State is, and Ohio is where the Canton Hall of Fame football place is, and I think it's a pretty fun place. The Winnipeg of the U.S. I believe to be
anywhere in Delaware,
Minnesota.
Minnesota's pretty fun.
I believe Minnesota is the Winnipeg of.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, he's coming to the Ohio of Canada, but I mean, if Ohio's as fun as Winnipeg is, I mean, let's go.
Ohio's like easily more fun. Than
let's
Winnipeg.
not forget this.
Blast.
We're talking a lot about Laine and Dubois in this trade. Jack Roslovic was being a big baby and I want out of Winnipeg. Okay, see the fuck later. Everybody needs to stop off this loss. Like you're nobody.
If that guy doesn't want to be here, like, go. Like, it's not hard. Like, I would rather have and who is Jack? Like, he's not a world beater. It's not like you're losing fucking Connor McDavid.
Everybody talks.
I read he's going to get a chance to be the #1 center on that team.
Well, then your number one center isn't that good on your team if Jack Roslovic's going to get him plop in there. But it was just like it was that when the trade happened, it was classic Winnipeg sports fans. Where it was just like, this is the worst trade of all time, and then everybody calmed down, took a couple hours, took a deep breath, and then they were like, you know what? This might be okay. And that is like, Winnipeg just bothers me to no end with that, with the Bombers, with the Jets. It's like when I moved into my house and I'm like, holy crap, I can actually listen to TSN 1290 on the way to work. I listened for one day and was like, this is awful. So like, because there's so many over the edge sports fans in Winnipeg who call in. When we had Buffalo, it was, we should trade Buffalo every second day.
But that's every sports town. Like, Winnipeg's not special.
All good.
Like, Toronto was like that when I was growing up.
Every passionate sports town.
Yeah, I mean, the Leafs are like that all the time.
I'm sure Atlanta didn't care if the Thrashers were good or not. I'm sorry. There was a handful of people that did.
When they threatened to move them, didn't they have like a rally and then like 50 people showed up?
By the way, the people who are usually on the radio, like the people who call into those shows, are the people who, like, they're not usually the people with the best takes.
No.
If you're going to take the time to call in and sit there and wait on hold to spout off a take, I probably don't want to hear your take.
No, I do actually. I do, but I don't want to hear it live. I want to hear it later when someone's like, "Holy shit! Did you hear what this guy called it?"
Mike, in Toronto, we had a joke that it was there was a guy named Mike from Buffalo who called into like the Leafs talk radio after every game, to the point where like he was able to like have his own Leaf talk thing, and it was called Mike from Buffalo. So like that's awesome. Like Incredible. That's the type of shit where like it's just the same guy calling over and over, and gets to the point where he's like a part of the show. But it's terrible. Like the Jets, I saw the Jets stuff online and I was just laughing because I was like, I don't care personally. So it was funny to watch all the reaction. Care,
and because like Laine is that guy that scores a lot of goals, can be a once in a generation talent, but he doesn't want to be here. So see you later. Bring someone in who wants to be here.
Would you guys have rather have taken Tkachuk? Looking back, like if you could do it again?
No.
Because didn't you guys swap 3rd and 4th picks? Like, wasn't Dubois right after Laine?
But But okay, if
Dubois was right after Laine, but there was talk that the Jets were maybe going to take
or second
Dubois.
and third picks. Sorry, second and third picks.
Yeah, there was talk that the Jets were going to take Dubois in that draft because they wanted a center, but Laine was too good to pass up. But now you got him. I don't know. The Jets are stacked down the middle. We're not about to dissect this trade. Like, I don't want to do that.
I know, but just think of it this way: if you didn't take Laine, are we where we are in our history of the Jets without him?
No, probably not.
No. And hey, you tell me right now, if you've been to a Jets game when Patrick Laine scored, it was fucking electric. The dude scored ways that were like impossible for me in my brain to see.
I don't think I'm out of line saying the two most popular players in Jets history were Dustin Byfuglien and Patrick Laine. Thus far, Jets 2.0.
Like 2.0, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Too bad he couldn't have stayed. I guess it just didn't work out.
I'm telling you right now,
Winnipeg's not for everyone. Like, I like it here a lot, but it isn't. It isn't for, especially if you're like a pro. If you're a pro athlete, like, I get why it could be tough to live here. Like
if you were born in the States and say like, hey, even if you were born in Los Angeles and you become a hockey player and Winnipeg drafts you,
that's cute. There's no LA hockey players.
Well, you know what I mean, though. You know what I mean. Right?
I have a great example for that. I am perpetually terrified of Austin Matthews' contract running out.
Because he's going to be really, really nice in Arizona colors?
If you don't think I just every time, like every year, I'm like, oh my God. I'm so glad we have him.
You're telling me that Phil Kessel went from Toronto to Pittsburgh and then was traded, he was traded to Arizona, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There has not been a peep out of Phil Kessel. Phil Kessel is loving Arizona.
Toronto paid him a bunch of money to pretty much just like score a few goals and hang out on the wing.
But you go to a passionate hockey city and then you go to a less passionate hockey city. Guys love it because nobody's really bugging you.
Yeah. My hope for Austin Matthews is we get a third contract out of him. And then after that, if he wants to go to Arizona, then knock yourself out. I don't know if we'll get it, but I hope so. I think
How many years has he got left? How many years has he got left?
This is the one at first of 5 years. We got time.
Yeah.
We got time.
You're not getting another contract out of him.
I think if they're winning, he'll stay. That's a big
if.
It
depends where Arizona's at. It depends where Arizona's at. If they are right on the cusp.
I think it might depend if Arizona's still there. I think, you know what? Actually, no, I'm changing what I'm saying. I am now the biggest proponent for us moving the Arizona franchise. I want it I want Arizona to go to Quebec. I want them to go as far away as possible.
Where do you want to go? Quebec or you want to go
so that Austin can be like,
I always respect people that call it Quebec.
Isn't it Quebec? Is it Quebec?
It's Quebec.
I don't care.
Is it Quebec or is it Quebec?
I think it's Quebec. I say Quebec.
They're in the middle of the country and they want to separate.
They do. They do. They used to anyway.
But they want to use our money still.
It's true.
Fuck them. What are we, the EU?
Well, this is nice though. Every once in a while we can sprinkle in a little sports talk. I'm a big fan of it. But our bread and butter is really going down that rabbit hole.
Sprinkle in the sports talk we had to talk about today because that was rough.
Okay. Yeah. So let's get back to our podcast.
Can I just say one more thing about that trade?
I think you're going to, so go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to anyway.
We don't have a choice, so go ahead, Matt. Fucking let it fly.
Pat in our group chat, he said, I'm going to be that fan. I'm going to be that fan. I'm going to be publicly that fan. You know what? I wish Laine the best and everything, but as a Jets fan, I hope he goes and he never scores freaking 10 goals in the season.
Of course.
Yeah.
You think when Kawhi left, I don't care that he won. In the back of my mind, I was like, fuck you, Kawhi.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Winnipeg's too nice sometimes. Everybody's like, oh, I hope he has a good career. No, I don't. No. I mean, I kind of do because it'd be cool because, like, whatever. Like, he's a human. But,
George Springer was a cheating piece of shit. Now, great guy. Upstanding gentleman.
He's going to be the best center fielder in the league. 100%.
Top shelf guy. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Mike Trout, who? Mike Trout.
This is the most I've been excited for the Jays since we traded away everybody who's ever mattered for a year and a half of success.
That was a good time.
All right, so
and if Ryan Goins catches that ball, who knows?
Ryan Goins. So we'll do a little cleanup.
I never thought we'd get a Ryan Goins reference.
We had a very nice guest. We had Sarah Nick come in, and she did a nice interview with us. Guys, quickly, top 5 interview we've ever done.
I'd say top 2. Top
2. Wow.
Full disclosure, top 2 interview we've ever done.
But no, nice. She was great. Super, super nice of her to come on with us. I think this is just the beginning for some guests on Bros, Bumps, and Beers. We reached out to Lance Storm, Canadian wrestler, and he very politely turned us down.
Yes. He's limiting the number of podcasts he does, which is a really nice way of saying you're not famous enough.
Yeah. But I will say
that's okay.
He is not banned because he was so nice about it.
Yeah, Pat, I think we should have a weekly segment of who we're banning, and if we decide. So, Pat, on this week's Who Are We Banning, is there anyone that you have on the list?
It's Andrew Siciliano. If you want to find out why, listen to the next segment.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna do it. That's your wet bread? Okay. Yes. Well, that's
so we had that, and then we also started our Flight and a Pint draft for the Royal Rumble.
That was a lot of fun. That was a very organic thing. I think we came up with that a few days before. It was one of those eureka moments.
I'm very excited for it.
We got very excited. We got very excited because restrictions were loosened a little bit. We thought we could get together.
It's still progressive. Well,
we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Either way, we will be watching it in
some
way, shape, or form.
But hopefully.
And we will have the results. We will get those results out to you online, which will be fun. We are telling you about this because today we're doing the second half, the Men's Royal Rumble. But then we had a nice discussion off air of who or what would be the result of the bet we are placing. I want to say, hey, the losers have to buy the winner beers. And Jordan was like,
hold on, Pat. Before we begin, let me just give a little frame of reference. How the scoring is going to work, because I want everyone at home to understand this quickly. The last person out of each respective rumble, that person will be worth 30 points. And then the person before them, 29, 28, so on down through 1. Last week, we drafted 5 females each. And we're going to tally up their scores with an extra, I think, 10 points if you pick the winner.
No, we voted against that.
If you pick the winner, you get 30 points.
You get 30 points. Okay. All right. So fair enough. So we're going to do the same for the men's. Now, knowing that, it has been decided that the winner will not, the person with the most points will not have to do the thing Pat is about to tell us about. So, Pat, please tell us what the 2 losers of the points values will need to do. And yes, I did come up with this, but it was in a group think, so I will give us all credit.
So it was initially hey, the winner gets beer bought by the losers. Jordan's like, nay, it needs to be worse. So we all decided as a group that the 2 losers, once restrictions are lifted a little bit more, will get into a car together and drive around the Winnipeg perimeter for 2 hours.
Good God.
You know why? What my aim was I want something that isn't financially deadly or life-altering, but has enough weight that if you lose,
could be life-altering.
You're not happy. I want it to be unhappy, but also be I can suck this up and do it. And I feel like this is the perfect. We settled on 2 hours. I think the first suggestion was 4 hours. I'm glad you guys shot me down on that. I was 4 hours, and you're like, okay, hold on.
So, I started thinking about 4 hours after you said it, and I was like, Matt, there's no way. I was walking home.
Can you imagine telling Janelle, telling your wife,
I
hey,
told her about the 2 hour. By the way, I told Janelle about the 2 hour thing.
Yeah.
And she was like, that's hilarious.
Awesome.
I hope
that's
you
great.
Lose. I don't like that.
How many
Rand thought it was. She's like, you guys are stupid, but I don't have to.
Ree said the exact same thing. She's like, that's dumb, but very funny. And I was like, okay, that's
so. Cool. How many times do you think you get around the perimeter?
It's 4 times about. If you drive just over the speed limit.
I think it depends who's driving and what car we're in.
Jesus.
So let's get one thing straight. I don't think there is a combination here that would not be entertaining.
So I did think about this. Me and Matt would be interesting. I think me and I would say of the 3 of us together, me and Matt have spent the least amount of time just together as 2 people, right? Pat and I, you guys obviously are brothers, and Pat and I, you and I hung out a lot more just due to the age. But so Matt and I don't even know what we'd talk about. I'm almost hoping that if I lose, that Matt loses with me, Matt, with all due respect, because I would just be curious, what a 2 hour Matt and Jordan car ride, what the kind of discussion.
Where would that conversation go?
The life discussions.
There will be portions of it filmed, by the way.
Yeah, we'll probably
YouTube,
almost film the whole thing and just cut it up. If it's me and Pat, God only knows. It'll probably have arguments.
We're not going to both survive that.
No, and if it's Matt and Pat, I feel like we'll
both die.
They will both die. So I think
if it's Matt and Pat, there will be awkward silences at some point. When he says something dumb, I get mad at him, and we don't talk for
There's
at least 10 minutes.
I would also say there might be something where the winner maybe has to make 4 questions that get asked every 30 minutes. So and it has to be discussed. Like it doesn't matter what it is, you have to discuss it for at least bring on conversation. I would like to vote now. Can we officially add that the winner gets to
we can amend the bet that it includes that.
The 4 questions. Okay.
I would agree.
Yes.
Well, that's good. Anything else we want to cover? I feel like I'm trying to think of anything else. I think that's a fantastic.
No. So just to recap, now officially on the Bros, Bumps, and Beers, your band list, Disco Inferno and Andrew Siciliano.
Coming up after the beer reviews.
And so now, you know what, guys? Let's drink some beer. Let's talk some
did
beer.
I jump something or are we in the right spot?
No, we're in the right spot.
Okay.
We're good. So we'll drink some beer. Matt, what are you drinking tonight, big fella?
I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a tough one. Haven't been to Oxus in a while, so grabbed their new Baltic Porter, the Suur Toll. He says
Suur Toll? Okay.
Suur Toll.
Suur Toll.
SUUR space TOLL.
Okay.
Suur Toll.
That sounds right to me.
Super cool.
I have no
pretty cool
idea
can.
what you just said, honestly.
It's a pretty cool can. It's a Baltic Porter coming in at 7.5%. It's a Baltic Porter. I don't know. You get chocolate, you get malt, get some coffee.
We're all pretty standard, eh?
It's pretty standard. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's not blowing the barn doors off. I'm not rushing back to get another one. That being said, if it ended up in my case at the LC or my flat at the Q, or somebody goes, "Hey, you want this?" I'm gonna be like, "Yeah," and I'm gonna be happy about it. So if you follow me on Untapped at Garny Matt, little pause. No, nothing.
Oh,
Okay,
you're
cool.
good. You're good.
You follow me on Untapped at Garny Matt. I'm gonna give this 3.5. Pretty standard.
Okay.
That's kind of where I put stuff when it's like, yeah, I'll drink it again. It's not blowing my. You know what? I'm gonna amend that. That's my new word for today, by the way. Is amend.
Yeah, you're really on it.
I'm gonna go 3.25. 3.25.
Can we just talk about how after 34 episodes, me gearing up to do the 2 T's on Matt during his beer review still rattles him to this day because he doesn't know when it's
rattles
coming.
me to my core. To my core.
Shook it. Pat, can I go second?
Yes, absolutely. You go second, Jordan.
All right, J School 55 on Untapped before I forget. I bought Big Bang from Torque.
I'm gonna interrupt you. I really want this review because I want to know if it's worth going to get.
It's a passion fruit guava Berliner Weiss. Okay.
Oh,
Which
you
is
know how
sour.
you know this is going to get rough? I didn't look at the alcohol content before I bought it. It's 3.2%.
Oh.
Okay. So
What?
Torque. I didn't know you were getting into the juice business. So that's fantastic. You can compete with Tropicana. I think that's really wonderful. Not only is the low ABV pretty frustrating because, like, if I wanted a juice, I'd drink a juice. Who is this beer for? Like, when you drink this beer, who do you envision coming in to get it? And here's the thing. Okay, maybe you'll say, like, less hardcore beer drinkers. Maybe you'll say, like, a cool summer beer. Maybe it's a chick beer, whatever the fuck that means. I don't know. But if that's the case, every woman I know, my fiance, literally took a sip of this and went, why is it under 5%? I don't care who it's for. I don't care why you made it. It's already too low. Now, here's the kicker, okay? It doesn't taste that great. So, good, let's just add that on. Frankly, like, the Guava 66 was better. The Guava
66.
What else? Guavatron was better.
Guavatron, yeah.
I'm trying to think. There was the
Guava Sour from TCB.
Yeah, that was better. And then the fourth one, there's one. It's not from Winnipeg, but one of the best ones I had.
The Guava 66.
No, it was the I'm missing Collective Arts. They made actually good tasting guava.
Oh man!
So the problem with this is it's 3.2%, and it also, like, it doesn't have that big guava punch. Like, it's actually very timid in its flavor and in its sourness. It doesn't hold with you in any way. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess the reason why this score is going to be kind of harsh is Torque made Curmudgeon. And there's just really no excuse for this beer to be so far away from it.
Curmudgeon.
So I'm going to give it a 1.75.
Jesus.
It's just like not.
That's the lowest score on this show. That's the lowest score ever been given on this show.
It's just not like a good showing. Like, I'm not gonna lie and tell people it's like an average. It's a 3. It's just not. Like, it doesn't taste that great. It's pretty flat on the sourness. It doesn't do anything well. And if you want to get drunk on this, you have to like put it right in your veins because the ABV is so low. So like, that's it. It's gonna get a 1.75.
The presentation they had on socials.
What's that?
The presentation on socials they had, the build up. I was hyped for that.
I saw Passion Fruit Guava and was like, oh my God. And then I bought 4 of them. And the alcohol content is next to nothing and it doesn't taste that great. So
replace your morning coffee with it.
No, my coffee deserves better. I make cold brew French press coffee. I'm not cheap shotting that. Pat, over to you.
All right, so I'll finish things out. I got I guess is it a collaboration between Fort Garry and Cole and Canary. It is the Chunky Knit Sweater. Strange name for a beer. It is a pumpkin cake ale. It is a 5.5 alcohol, 25 IBU. This is like, I was a little hesitant to get this. I'm not a big Fort Garry fan. Their stuff just feels generic to me, and it doesn't feel like I'm going to go out and buy it anytime I go out. So I picked it up because it was new, it was different. It's got really good vanilla notes. Does it taste like a pumpkin cake? Sort of.
I've never had a pumpkin cake.
Like I've had pumpkin pie. I don't eat it normally, but I've had pumpkin pie, so maybe a little bit of the same comparison. So it's good. It's got some cinnamon notes to it. I think it's a nice showing. I'm not going to tear it apart, but it's one of those ones I'm not going to go out and buy it. I'm not going to search for it. So if you want to follow me on Tapped at Pat Gagne, I'm going to give this just a 3, a straight 3. Nothing that's going to blow your socks off. It's just kind of there, and it's really good. It's pretty good, not really good. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just not, it's tough for me. Like it's good. Like I'm drinking it and I don't hate it, but it's just not something I'm going to go out and buy again. So a 3 on Untapped at Pat Gagne.
It's one of those beers that I feel like it's kind of like the one I'm drinking tonight. If somebody gives it to you, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, awesome, cool.
Yeah, so to recap, I had the Cole and Canary from the Cole and Canary and Fort Garry collab, the Chunky Knit Sweater, Pumpkin Cake Ale. I gave it a 3 on Untapped at Pat Gagne. Matt had the Oxus beer, whose name is hard to pronounce.
Suur Toll?
Suur Toll. He gave it a 3.25 on Untapped. Follow him at Gagne Matt with 2 T's. And Jordan came out swinging tonight. He had the Big Bang from Torque. He gave it a 1.75 on Untapped.
Honestly, this isn't even like a Packers Rage related rating. I had one of these before the game, and I'm drinking like a Belching Beaver hard seltzer, and it's better than that beer.
All right, so now we will go to Jordan for the Winnipeg beer
second best hard seltzer
of the week.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I said it was better. It means it puts Shoreline like above that, but like that's 2 seltzers that this beer doesn't even get close to. All right, positivity now. Let's try to bring some positivity out. The Packers blew it today. I'm not mad about that at all. So we're starting off with the Space Jam, the return of the Space Jam. Praise God, hallelujah, it's back. Spoiler alert, as the time you're listening to this, it's already gone. We got it after we recorded last week, the news on Monday. It came home. I had a few of them. My fiance found out they were in the fridge and they were no more.
They're still at the brewery though.
Yeah, but I mean, I have to go. I'm not, how many times? I'm not driving out there all the time. Like, what do you want from me? On top of that,
because I panicked because I didn't pick any up yet. I thought they were all gone.
Oh, no, they're gone. Yeah, excuse me. Okay, I see what you're saying. No, they're gone at Casa de Schofield, not at Kilter. Barnhammer Brewing has the Neapolitan Milk Stout. Matt, I don't know if this is new or a rebrew.
It's a rebrew.
I thought so. So I'm excited to try that. Haven't had it yet. Torque Brewing has a Brett Saison. Spoiler alert, if you're not into Saisons, try one before you go get this.
Not into Brett's.
Not yet. Just give it a try. Trans Canada, once again, something else in my fridge. I might save it for next week. A County Sour Series beer. Notes of chocolate, raspberry, and cherries. I actually think This is, sorry, let me pull up because we posted the announcement, not the beer. The Dark Berliner Sour is the one that it is. So I got a few of those. Excited to try that as well. Devil May Care. I'm on it today.
Nailed it.
Has their rotating IPA series, nothing but the hops. So this is a very mixed up IPA style, new blend of hops. Volume 1, they're going to have West Coast style, Idaho 7, Stratas, and Azacas, I think. And this drink's kind of very tropical stone fruit, meets citrus, meets pine, meets black tea. I for sure didn't, like, I read that. That isn't something I just know off the top of my head. OGC is bringing out the alternate reality alt beer, which is awesome. Notes for dark copper, bitterness, and mild malty sweetness. Excited to try that as well. Devil May Care, once again, this is a long one, folks, so bear with me. The Rausch is strong with this one. Is a German style Rausch beer that blends a Schwarz beer and a Rausch beer. Dark, smooth, smoky, 9%. I've had this. It is fantastic. It is
it already?
So smooth at 9%. You could drink a number of these, and it is such like a nice smoky flavor. I really highly suggest that one to anyone who wants a good get drunk beer that tastes good. I just told you about Big Bang from Torque. Make your own life decisions. And then finally, a beer that I actually don't agree with, but I will tell you is coming out. Stone Angel is coming out with the Highlander. It's a wee heavy. I take issue with this because there can only be one. There can only be one Highlander. And you can't name a beer a Highlander because there can only be one. So I had
to look up that reference, by the way.
Yeah, I was surprised. You guys know what responded. I'm like, do these guys not know there could only be one? It's the Highlander. So awesome beer news this week. I'm actually going to write down right now in the group, beer news starts here, just for our own reference. But Pat, back to you in the studio.
Fantastically done, Jordan. You were on the ball today. Devil May Care is going to appreciate you not calling them Devil May Beer.
Who would know that sports depression would lead to overall competency, especially after I'm on beer 4 of the evening because I drink to forget.
All right. So I will say very entertaining first block. When we come back, I am going to tear Andrew Siciliano a new ass. All right, welcome back. It's time for some wet breads and rocket ships. Haven't had that for a week, so let's get it out of our system. Matt, one honorable mention only.
I actually didn't watch a ton of wrestling this week, so I don't have any honorable mentions. Oh, okay. Actually, I have one. That's a
good thing you don't think you do a wrestling podcast. And You don't have to watch it for the sake
I was busy, man. I was busy.
You're a stay-at-home dad. Oh no, sorry, you're not a state. That doesn't make any sense. You're a dad who has to be at home more than usual. That's not what a stay-at-home dad is.
The Jets are back. The Jets are back.
I watched wrestling this week. I will admit, it's getting tough.
I watched some.
I will say having the two TVs side by side is a godsend because I have hockey on one and wrestling on the other, and you can just watch both at the same time. Yeah, I highly suggest if you can get to a point in life where you just can buy two TVs and put them side by side, it's really worth the money.
All right, so I will lead things off with wet breads, and I will do it quickly because he is a moron. Andrew Siciliano works
We're starting negative, eh? We're not even fucking waiting.
I think he works for ESPN or NFL Network.
I believe Andrew Siciliano is one of the 2 hosts of NFL Total Access on NFL Network.
Yeah, so he's on the NFL Network. So I'm going to get at this guy who looks like a hobbit.
Wow.
So
he has huge ears.
Yeah, here's what he said, and I quote from his tweet. "Everyone knows pro wrestling isn't a sport, ! You're an idiot. My point is it should never be covered by a sports network. News networks never covered Veep, House of Cards, West Wing, 24, etc. as if they were real. Sports networks shouldn't cover sports acting." So Andrew Siciliano has now jumped on the list of being banned on Bros, Bumps, and Beers because he is a complete moron.
You know what? You know how some takes are logical, from a pure, if you just look at it without any sort of context? If you shut your eyes and go, hey, wrestling shouldn't be for those reasons, it makes sense. But you have to think about everything around what wrestling is. Wrestling's in its own category.
Yeah.
So there isn't an equivalent of wrestling.
Can I do my wet bread? Wow.
Wow.
No, yeah.
You know what, Pat?
Jordan. Jordan.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Matt. Matt, you know what, Matt? Matt, I'm sorry that I interrupted Pat's wet bread. I apologize.
Jordan, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the Bills lost today.
Me too.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm the diehard here, and I'm taking it better than he is.
All right. So all I can say is it is ridiculous that someone in this day and age, 2021, would say he's essentially saying wrestling is so fake that nobody should talk about it.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, because who else is going to talk about it?
Tell that to people who have been wrestlers their entire life, some that can't walk, some that have bumps and bruises all the time, who are physically in pain all the time. People have always said it is like if you were an offensive lineman in the NFL and you did it 350 days a year. That is what wrestling is. So the fact that this idiot who has clearly never really watched the sport, dug into the sport, read about this, I'm calling it a sport, read about wrestling.
But it is a sport. Nothing. You can call it a sport. It is a sport.
It's sports entertainment. It's sports.
It's its own bracket.
Exactly.
It's wrestling. There's nothing else like it in the world. It's a mix of play acting, like Broadway, if you will, and like pseudo MMA and soap operas. It's its own fucking thing.
To compare it to like Veep and House of Cards and West Wing with like political
it's networks, offensive.
It's so stupid. It is so stupid. And that's like, he is so out of his realm. Like, just shut up. Just don't talk about it. If you just want to get a hot
day
take,
in the NFL that day, I guess.
Must have been. Like, there's only 2 games, so I guess he was super bored. Like, I'll never listen to his stupid
you'll
podcast.
Get a good reaction out of wrestling Twitter, though.
100%. And he got roasted.
I'm sure. I'm sure he's like, I could use some engagement. That and golf Twitter is just runner.
Oh.
Yeah, so, golf Twitter.
My wet bread of the week is Andrew Siciliano, that stupid moron who decided that he was going to comment on wrestling when he had no business doing it because he's never watched a damn second of it. Next, Matt, give us your wet bread of the week.
Okay, and I only have one. I have no honorable mentions.
That's great because I have 7 honorable mentions.
Great, fantastic. It feels good, doesn't it? My wet bread this week is this preposterous idea that WWE has that some people have to win to get into the Royal Rumble, and some people are just like, hey, I'm in the Royal Rumble. Like, Ricochet and AJ Styles had a match on Monday. Good match. A great match.
Yeah.
Where the loser can't be in the Rumble, yet AJ Styles had declared like 2 weeks earlier that he was in the Rumble, and like 6 guys have declared in the last like 2 shows that they're like, I'm in the Rumble. But Ricochet had to win.
There's no rules. There's no
That
order.
might have been the ultimate burying of Ricochet. Was the guy who was already in the Rumble wrestled a guy who needed to win to get in the Rumble, and then the guy who needed to win lost. And you're telling me in the Rumble you couldn't have found a cool spot for Ricochet? Like, we have people walking on fucking, like, was it Kofi Kingston doing handstand walks?
Yeah.
And you're telling me we couldn't find a spot for Ricochet to do something interesting?
So, which leads me to kind of a question based on this wet bread. Is it that, because it is basically that Ricochet isn't going to be in the Rumble, are they burying him or are they building towards something, you think?
No. Ricochet's been buried for a couple months now. They're just patting the dirt on his corpse.
Oh, okay.
They're raking the dirt and they're putting down sod because we're going to put grass. There's not even a tombstone.
It's like he was here and we just covered him up.
Ricochet needs to leave so fast. Like,
I don't think he's going to. Some guys are okay with making that much money and being underutilized. I think Ricochet has done enough in Japan where he's like, my legacy's good enough.
But guys, think about how often he's on TV.
He's on TV
every week.
It's true.
I guess. Maybe
is he buried? Are you buried if you're on TV every week?
Well, if you're losing every week, yeah.
I would say.
We'll talk about my rocket ship after, and you can tell me.
Okay.
I guess we'll see. All right, my wet bread of this week was kind of tough. I didn't find there was too much I really didn't like. One thing I think the thing that stood out for me is the main event of AEW. I actually thought was a really sloppy match. I was surprised with those 3 tag teams and how I thought there was a lot of, like, those are guys who I thought should be like kind of at the pinnacle, and I just didn't see a lot of like. I can't remember anything specific. I tried to write stuff down at the time, but I just remember overall it just being like missed spots, you know, like a lot of pretty obvious no hits, some bad camera work. And the one shining light, though, was Sammy Guevara hit the coolest looking swanton bomb I've ever seen, where he pretty much jumped like straight up in the air and hung there for like 5 seconds and then landed on whoever he landed on. But overall as a match, I just kind of expected like a lot more out of those 6 guys just as like workers, and I thought it was kind of disappointing.
I felt like the whole AEW show Dynamite, that was probably the first time I was like, this is not a good show this week.
Yeah, it
wasn't
like
that
the wrestling,
very
you mean?
mediocre.
Yeah, the wrestling and just like
it felt like
everything felt
shitty.
clunky. It felt very clunky the whole show.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Like it was weird. It was really weird. I don't have much more to add to that. I just thought it was like kind of poorly done.
But the fact of the matter is, I mean, if this is the first time we're saying that about Dynamite,
you know what? I think Bubba Ray made a really good point on his podcast. I didn't listen to the podcast, but it was a great quote. He said, one thing about NXT is like every match there, for the most part, he goes, if you take it on the whole, the work in that place is like 9 out of 10. He's like, one thing NXT will do is they'll put on pretty good matches. Like even the women's wrestling, which at time the depth can be tested. I still think overall they put on better actual wrestling matches top to bottom than AEW can even touch.
right?
NXT?
Yeah, I think NXT
I
actually
totally
puts
agree.
on like the best top
100%.
to bottom wrestling in,
But I feel like NXT,
aside from Japan.
I feel like NXT is a wrestling factory while AEW is trying to be its own thing, right?
Yeah,
like they're bringing in a
that's
lot
fair.
of people from different
That's
places.
fair. I think that's why
Everybody's
like,
working.
Yeah,
Everybody's working the same style in NXT.
it's almost getting to the point where NXT's like what they're known for is they're almost like developing the wrong. That's almost like a farm team that isn't developing very well for the big leagues, because I don't think Raw and SmackDown is about that.
No.
So I find it interesting. Like it's almost like NXT is where they go to learn to work, but they don't really learn to have like elite promo skills or have to even try to do that until they get up and they're like performing like, Days of Our Lives on SmackDown. So
I agree with that.
Yeah. Which is why The Miz continues to be a huge feature, because the guy can act.
The guy can act.
And
Yeah.
The guy has
acting himself.
personality.
He was in The Recruit.
Which
No.
one?
No.
What was
Marine.
it? The
The
Marine.
Marine.
Fuck.
Almost nailed that
Marine
joke. You almost
6 or
nailed it.
something?
Yeah, him and Dean Ambrose.
All right, so rocket ships now,
Yeah.
flying right along. I just put Sami Zayn as my
Let's
rocket
go.
ship.
Sami
Thank you.
fucking Zayn.
Can I just say,
He comes
him
out at the
coming-
beginning of the show and chains himself to the.
Awesome.
he was out there for what, 3-4 matches,
Awesome.
He's out there for almost an hour.
Awesome.
and they kept coming back and forth. And his sign, the fact that it said
Change my
"Stand
mind."
against moral injustice" to spell out Sammy, I died. I
He
couldn't. I
had
couldn't
multiple
handle it.
signs, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
but that
did.
was my
Yeah.
favorite one. I just thought like the fact that there was the show going on in the ring, but then every once in a while it's like, oh yeah, Sammy's still chained up. To
He
the
has. He
barricade.
still has one of my favorite finishers in wrestling, because I think the Helova kick looks like
Looks
an actual. It
devastating.
looks like something that will like destroy you. I think
He has
it's
two.
amazing.
He has two of the greatest moves. He has the hell of a kick,
Yes.
and he has the blue thunder bomb,
The
which,
blue thunder bomb.
which everybody gets hyped for, but he's
And he
never won with it.
He uses it.
No.
Oh yeah, you're right. But and I also find he doesn't use it a lot, does he?
He used to
uses
in
it as a
NXT all
near
the
Yeah,
time.
fall
he
move.
used it in NXT a
Yeah.
ton. I haven't seen him use it in the main roster.
But like, so I think
That's a great
And
rocket ship.
I
He's
think
been fantastic.
he was tough. It was tough for him to get into his foot in the door, and I think they weren't trusting him a lot. And now with his new kind of persona, this new
Him as a
gimmick,
whiny heel is
Yeah.
fantastic.
He's
Him
almost
and-
like isn't he like going for like communist kind of like,
Yeah.
is that kind of the thing?
Yeah.
oppressed. He feels like he's oppressed.
Yeah, he's perpetually.
I feel like him
yeah.
and Kevin Owens they're money as whiny heels, and they're okay as faces, but they're way better as whiny heels.
They're whiny heels that I think hardcore fans can choose to love or hate. Right? Like I think you can let them be what I think in modern wrestling you can just let people be the character they're best at, and the fans will tell you whether you should like him or hate him.
And
Yeah,
I feel
so-
like this run of Kevin Owens, if we can just go there real quick, this run of Kevin Owens as a face hasn't
Great.
been classic face. He's been
Yeah,
way more,
just a shit
kinda-
disturber.
more of like a pot stirrer,
Yeah.
kind of shit like that. Yeah.
But yeah, so I think what we're working towards for the Rumble is I think we're gonna get a 3-way of Apollo Crews, Big E, and Sammy.
Give me
Give me that match.
That's
all
not the
all
usual three-way I like, but I think I'll
it.
take it.
All right, Matt. So what was your rocket ship?
real quick, going to last week,
Mhm.
speaking of Apollo Crews, Paul Heyman putting him over on Talking
Mm-hmm.
Smack. Fantastic. Lit a fire on him, just like he lit a fire on the Big E. I think they've
Yep.
been better since.
Yep.
Going to my rocket ship, a guy who's lost a lot last week beat another guy who's just been on a losing streak. So Cesaro beats Daniel Bryan last week
Mhm.
in a phenomenal wrestling match.
Of course, yeah.
Then Cesaro comes out. Daniel Bryan's on commentary. Daniel Bryan does a great job on commentary. And Cesaro and Dolph Ziggler two phenomenal professional wrestlers have a phenomenal match again. Cesaro getting a couple wins, heating him up a little bit leading into the Royal Rumble. I'm all about it. Cesaro is arguably one of the 5 best wrestlers in that company right now.
And those two guys,
pure professional wrestlers.
You say they've both been losing a lot. The losses do not hurt those guys at all.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You say, oh, Ricochet's been buried. He's been losing a lot. Some guys can lose. Ricochet maybe isn't that type of guy, but Daniel Bryan can lose. He could lose forever, and no one.
It's a track record thing, right? Like Ricochet doesn't have that track record.
No, but Cesaro, I'm happy to see him win. We all know how I feel about Cesaro. So
what does he do that you love so much, man?
Well, I mean, he's really strong. He works out with John Cena. So
right.
He pats Cena on the ass when Cena picks stuff up and puts it down.
I want to be that guy. I want to be that guy.
Matt wants to high five John Cena after a big personal rep all the time.
Oh yeah, big time. I want to go in the gym and John Cena yell at me for not being strong enough. That's what I want. But Cesaro being used, winning, and having phenomenal professional wrestling matches. That's my rocket ship. Real simple. I enjoyed it.
All right. So I'll wrap this up. I have a quick honorable mention. Okay, you know what? I'm going to switch with my honorable mention. My rocket ship my honorable mention is going to be the thing that made me laugh the hardest in wrestling this week. The he said yes and the Dark Order segment when he says no and they pop everything behind him. I audibly laughed out loud at the grandness of it. It was so over the top that I thought it was extremely funny. So I thought that was good.
Are the Dark Order faces now?
I don't know, man.
I think they should be, because I think with what happened with Brody Lee, you can really use this to kind of push the Dark Order into being faces. I don't think there's any reason they shouldn't.
Make John Silver the leader, and I'm all in.
Yeah, he's fantastic. My actual rocket ship of the week was a very short thing, but it's exciting for possibilities. Alexander Wolf came out on NXT, and that's the 3rd member of Imperium now on NXT US.
Walter.
And that means that there's a slight chance that on a regular 2-hour taping in one day soon, I will see Volta. I will not have to watch NXT UK a day later on an illegal website to have a chance to maybe see him wrestle. So I just saw Wolf come out, and I just know that I'm owed a Prince versus Volta match by the WWE. And I continue to. So I'm just saying,
hang on, Matt. Walter in the Royal Rumble.
Don't do this to me. I don't know, but he would have. How? You know what? I actually haven't seen him on TV for a couple of weeks. You know what? NXT UK is only an hour show. I just don't think Walter still needs to be there. You know what I mean?
He's been a champion long enough. They can take him off now.
Yeah, you can put another guy over and bring him over. I don't think he'll ever be a main roster guy, but I think he could
wants
go.
To be now.
No, I don't think he wants to be. But that was my rocket ship. I just saw Wolf, and I realized that we're missing one guy. And Imperium, unless they're going to go with those 2 guys, and Volta's going to lone Wolf. But the second I saw Wolf, I knew that it's possible. There's a chance.
Quick shout out on an honorable mention, Adam Pearce doing great work.
Oh, great stuff
on both shows.
Yeah,
just doing phenomenal work.
He's entertaining as hell.
Yeah, he's probably the best authority figure since the Authority.
Wow.
Can you imagine Volta and Thatcher?
No, I don't want. No, I don't want to, because that.
Can you imagine?
I'll have to watch that 3 times, and I will cringe all the time.
I'm in for Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa.
That was a great match.
If they don't win the Dusty Rhodes, if they don't make the final of the Dusty Rhodes Classic, it's all for naught. They will make the final.
I think those 2 are going to be, and you know what? Good for Thatcher, because I was skeptical he'd find his way with his style, and I feel like he's starting to round into something interesting.
There's enough tough bastards who can have good matches with him.
If that fight pit can be his signature match, let's go.
That's cool. And the ending was awesome. Him doing the clasp with the torture rack on the knee, that was fucking unreal.
The fight pit might be the most creative wrestling idea.
Better than Raw Underground. Good God,
man, that just
almighty.
went away. Eh? That's sad.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Fucking
was fun for a couple
loud.
weeks. It was
Shane McMahon decided he didn't want to show up to tapings anymore. He's like, nah, this is dumb.
Smart man.
All right, so we'll wrap it up, and we'll come back with our final segment. We will continue our Royal Rumble draft show.
Oh, Michael, this is going to be fun to watch.
Okay, gentlemen, The bet is set.
Oh
The
my
stakes
God.
are made.
Now it gets real. Now it gets
Fucking
real.
And
nervous again.
the Royal Rumble is on Sunday. We have arrived.
It's a Sunday. Oh my God.
Yeah. So we did the women's last week. I felt like the women's, not that it was easier, it was just more clear cut of who we were going to pick.
This is a shit show.
There's less women wrestlers and less established women wrestling.
I feel bad
wrestlers,
if
so
you
it's-
pick third.
Yeah. So
Matt.
we're going to go opposite. We're going to go, Jordan's going to pick first.
Oh, I went.
Whoa,
Oh, damn.
why do you just get to decide the order?
I thought that's what we said off air.
Well,
That's
Matt,
not
you're
what we
going
said.
third. We know that outright.
Yeah, Matt's third.
Pat, I will, because did you go third last week or did you go second?
I went second.
No, Pat went third. Jordan went second.
Okay, so
Oh.
Pat, you will go first. I don't mind
Okay.
staying in 2. Matt will stay, and Matt will go to 3.
Okay.
This is.
You know why? I want a solid control. Like if I'm 2 for the whole thing, I feel like there's no variable there, and I can just ride the lightning, saying I was 2 the whole time.
Okay. So
This
Oh,
is
boy.
nerve-wracking.
first pick is tough. So I feel like I got to pick someone who's going to be the winner. I have no idea who's winning the Royal Rumble, the male Royal
This
Rumble.
is
I have
probably
absolutely
the
no idea.
number one year where I genuinely don't have like a solid.
This is
clue.
one of the most wide open rumbles ever.
I am going to take someone, and this will either be a very smart pick or it might be the dumbest pick any of us have make, and it's going to be ridiculous as first overall. I'm going to pick Daniel Bryan as my first overall pick.
I don't hate it,
You
Pat.
think
I don't
this is
hate it.
going out in a blaze of glory type thing? Because you
Yeah.
know what, Daniel Bryan's been putting over talent by losing.
Yeah.
And if he suddenly wins the Rumble and he gets that shot no matter what,
Mhm.
he can keep putting over talent.
And him against Reigns would be a good.
Has he ever won a Rumble?
No.
Yes.
I thought he did.
No.
He
No,
did- no.
no. So I think this is the last thing on his resume that he needs. So I think Daniel Bryan is due. I think if he doesn't win, he's going to have a good showing and be in there for a while. So I'm going to take Daniel Bryan as my first pick.
Well
Okay.
done, Patrick.
That's a very, very good pick, actually. I'm actually kind of upset. Sorry, can I be clear? Champions are not going to be in this year. I read that, but I want to be 100% sure.
Yes, champions will not be in it.
Okay.
Yeah. So McIntyre and Reigns.
I have a terrible feeling that the 2 favorites are not going to be anywhere close to winning this. Like the 2 people that we've thought were going to win this for a while, but I'm going to take one of them anyways. I'm
Don't
going
do
to
it.
take Keith Lee here.
No.
I'm going to take Keith Lee here. I
I'm
think
upset
that's
with you right
I
now.
think that's another very risky pick. I don't think Keith Lee is going to I think he'll be there late. I really don't think he's going to win it.
Can I make a prediction?
I don't know.
I think Keith Lee will be the biggest disappointment of the Royal Rumble.
You think he's just not like as in his performance or like where he goes
I think
out?
he will come in the middle. People will expect a lot, and he'll get eliminated fairly quickly.
That would be devastating for me. For a high
'Cause I
pick.
almost took him. I almost took him at first, and then earlier in the day, I was reading stuff.
I
like
just
watching
don't see- I just don't see how, like, I feel like this is one of those wrestling swerves where, like, there's a lot of pub about Vince sending him back down to sell better, and then they put him right back in with Drew. And I feel like Drew's really pushing him too. Like, I feel like McIntyre wants to work with him. So, and what have they been building towards with McIntyre? Like, what's the point of this all? I don't know. I'll take
Him
Keith
losing
Lee
to
and I'll be
Goldberg.
happy
That's
about
what they're building towards.
it. Fuck
Him losing to
Goldberg.
Goldberg.
All right, that's it. Keith Lee's my second pick. Matt gets 2 back-to-backs. This is pretty big.
The guy I want to pick is the Intercontinental fucking champion. I'm not picking him.
Why not?
Like,
Why not?
Let's remember, the Royal Rumble's in January, WrestleMania's in April. Lock and
unless they put the belt on Cruz.
I think the belt's going to go on Sammy again soon.
Yeah, I think Sammy wins on
Ooh.
Sunday.
You guys, I know you guys are baiting me into picking him, and I
100% we are.
Well, because I think I'll take him if you don't.
I know you will. This is not fun. This isn't fun. This
There's
isn't a fun.
there's going to be a lot of
Lots of
gap
steak.
cutting. There's going to be a lot of gap cutting.
Yeah,
for
you're
me
gonna have
in
to cut
in
some
post.
gaps because I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Fuck.
I don't know who I'm picking.
Last week I was just filibustering between.
I'm gonna
Pat's-
take
Pat's
Nakamura. I'm gonna
Oh,
take
boy.
Nakamura.
Nakamura. He did just go back face, but I think that's
But
way
he's
too
also
early.
won a Royal Rumble 2 years ago.
That they didn't really do much with.
Shinsuke won a Rumble.
Shinsuke
Yeah.
Nakamura did, yes. He faced AJ Styles at WrestleMania and lost.
And then turned heel.
I didn't know that.
You don't remember that because you were with us when you watched that.
Oh, really? Man, I must have been something. Wow. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, I must have been putting away.
So I'm taking Nakamura because I have a feeling about him, and then I'm gonna hate myself if I don't do it, and then it happens.
I already hate myself, and it has nothing to do with the Royal Rumble.
So I'm gonna pick Big E. I have to pick him.
Okay.
I wouldn't be true to myself if I didn't pick him, even though I have a feeling I just hope Sami Zayn takes the belt off of him, and then he comes into the Rumble and does well. Oh my God! I just picked two guys that I am not happy with. Okay.
I'm telling you right now, neither one of those motherfuckers are winning the Royal Rumble.
So I think there's someone who's gonna have a really good showing, and I'm kind of glad I'm getting him at 5. I'm gonna take AJ Styles here.
I don't hate that. He hasn't won a Rumble. Why did I take AJ Styles?
I think he's gonna be here late, and I think if it's a year where no one's really standing out, AJ's someone who could shine. So I'll take AJ Styles.
AJ Styles is Shawn Michaels in Royal Rumbles.
I feel like he's just going to be there a while.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
So that's it. AJ, I feel like I'm honestly pretty cool with those two picks. Keith Lee and AJ Styles is pretty good so far.
Pat,
those are way better than my picks.
Matt, I'm going to pull you right now. I'm going to pick a guy who has a belt. I'm going to pick Bobby Lashley because that guy is a wagon lately.
Oh, that's gross.
He is a monster, and I think he's going to be one of those intimidating guys in the Royal Rumble that eliminates a lot of guys, sticks around for a while. I think he's Final Four. I honestly do.
Is it possible he's going to face probably Riddle at the Royal Rumble? Is it possible they put the belt on Riddle?
I think it's maybe. I think so. I think they could. Yeah.
That's tough.
I don't see it out of the realm of possibilities, but I just think Bobby Lashley, he's having such a good year. Now he's in the hurt business.
Bobby Lashley's biggest deficiency is he's a bad talker.
Yeah,
MVP is a phenomenal talker, so Bobby Lashley doesn't need to talk. So, I mean, that's kind of a recipe for a good time.
Matt, my next pick, I can't believe you didn't take him. I thought you would take him with your first two picks.
Oh, no.
He's coming back. It's Seth Rollins.
I'm taking Seth Rollins.
I thought I was going to get him back. I thought it.
That would have been my next one. That was my next one.
Yeah, Seth Rollins is coming back on Sunday.
I don't think he's going to win, though. I don't think he's going to win. He's going to come out 30 and probably get eliminated 26.
Look, Matt, here you go. This is my logic. I have Daniel Bryan, Bobby Lashley, and Seth Rollins. I think all three of those guys are going to be in the Final Four.
I'm going to be driving around the perimeter with Jordan, am I not?
Why do you think I'm gonna? I'm very confident. I think you're gonna be driving around the perimeter with one of us. I think it's a 2-horse race. I think it's between Pat and Jordan.
I got to go tell Janelle I'm gonna be driving around the perimeter.
Why? This is the perfect time for Seth Rollins to come back. He's a surprise entrance.
It's 100% the best.
I think it's possible. WWE being stupid, they could bring him back on Monday Night Raw. He comes out and then he declares for the Rumble and he's in the Rumble. Either way, he's going to be in the Rumble on Sunday. And he's going to have a good show.
That would be stupid. That would be stupid of WWE to bring him on Monday.
But it's
That'd
possible.
Be ridiculous.
Oh, my God, man.
All right, Jordan, to you for another one. Oh, my God, my draft is so good.
I am.
Picking third sucks.
I'm trying to think of, at this point, there's people who I just don't know if they're going to be there for a while. There's someone who I really... Okay, all right. I'm gonna hate myself for doing this, but I feel like if I'm right and he is in it, it will be a good showing. I'm gonna take Samoa Joe.
That's what I was gonna pick next.
As you can see, I'm building a roster of names. I just think in a year where it's very muddy, it's just gonna be the dudes you know.
Because he's on commentary still, correct?
Yeah, but I feel like they've been
I think he gets up. I think he gets up from the commentary table
and just goes in. I agree. I think I'm going to take... There's someone else here who I'm excited to see with the guy who else I think Matt will probably take this guy, but if he doesn't, I'll be excited to get him back. I will also admit that picking second's the most fun because I have to think about who's going after me. So because sometimes it's twice Pat and sometimes it's twice Matt. So it's fun to think about that. But I'll take Samoa Joe and toss it over to Matt for, I believe, his end of third, start of fourth rounders.
Yes.
Yeah,
correct.
This is the 9th pick. This is an easy one. I'm taking Cesaro. I talked about him earlier.
Yeah,
I like his run.
That's your saving face pick.
Yeah.
No, it's just you know what?
He's gonna be there. He's gonna be there.
He's gonna be there. I picked Big E, who's not guaranteed to be in the Rumble, even though I think he declared. Did he not declare?
Yeah, he's gonna be in the Rumble.
He'll be in there.
Okay, Nakamura declared. I could see this being the falling out between Cesaro and Nakamura. And I'm hoping it's, after the 20th guy comes into the ring, they both decide to just take each other out. That would be super cool. If I could get the 21st and the 22nd elimination from those guys, that'd be awesome. So yeah, I picked Cesaro. No arguments from you guys, obviously. Keep your mouth shut. I hate all of you. What just happened? I blacked out. Now the next pick. I'm picking a guy who I think will either come in 1 or 2, or they'll save till late. If he comes in 1 or 2, I have a feeling I'm screwed because I think the story will progress with him. But Jey Uso.
He'll be in the Rumble. I think he'll be in the Rumble.
He's declared. He's declared.
Okay.
So
I think Matt, he's gonna get eliminated real quick and embarrass Roman Reigns, and that'll continue that.
That's my fear. But I think it could be that he maybe comes in really late, and everyone's like, "Oh, Jey Uso's got a good chance to win," and he gets eliminated quickly, and Roman's very disappointed because he used his power as the head of the table to get him a late entry.
And see, I think it could be the opposite. I think Jey Uso could come in number 1 and number 2. I think he could come in number 1 and number 2.
I also think so.
And be in for a very long time.
I also think that.
And then get eliminated 15, 16. But
I mean, I'd be okay as far as value goes. I mean, for a 10th overall pick, 15, 16, I'd be cool with that value.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
All right, Jordan.
I really don't like my draft.
Okay. This is another one where I think he's just going to come in and have a really good showing and get me points. I'm going to take Andrade. I think he's going to come in. I think he's going to have a good showing. I don't think he's had enough build that you can see him as a legit winner. But I think in the 4th round, he's a guy who's going to get me something in the teens. And I will happily accept that. So I'll take Andrade. I have someone who I like as a last round flyer if he gets to me. I feel like it might be the biggest boom or bust pick ever, but we will see. So Pat, over to you for your last 2 picks.
I don't know if he's declared, but I'm in this same realm as Andrade. If Andrade wasn't taken by Jordan, I was going to take Andrade. I like what they've been doing with him lately, and I think he can have a good showing. I'm going to take Mustafa Ali.
It's a good pick. He hasn't declared, but he's for sure going to be there.
He's got to be. He's the leader of whatever they're called.
Retribution.
Yeah, whatever.
He's the leader of things.
Now,
Is it possible that we see all of Retribution in the match together?
God, I hope not.
Oh, no, please, Lord.
I could see a face-off between
Matt,
them.
Can I just quickly say no? I don't know if you're right or wrong, but can I just say, no, it's impossible, and just will that into existence?
You can do it.
All right.
Jordan, you can do whatever the fuck I want.
And you know what? I'm taking him, too, because I love Mustafa Ali. I think what he's doing on the mic is great. I think they gave him chicken shit, and he's trying to make it into chicken salad.
He's the only reason they're still around.
Yeah. And I think I just really want him to succeed because I think there's something there. And if not, I hate to be that guy all the time, but if he doesn't work in WWE, I think AEW would be a great landing spot for him. And he could be something there. But for now, I want to see him do well. So I'm picking him. Positive vibes being thrown his way. Hopefully he's not the first entrant and gets eliminated 3rd, but we'll see.
Jey Uso is going to eliminate him.
Maybe. Man. I kind of want to do this, but I don't think it's going to happen. That'd just be ridiculous. I don't want to name drop either, so I'll just leave it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm gonna take a safe pick. Baron Corbin's going to be in the Royal Rumble. Baron Corbin's going to be in the Royal Rumble. They love him.
You wanted him?
Yeah,
Jordan?
that was going to be my next one. I thought that was a fantastic pick for me at the end.
That's a great value pick.
I think he's one of those guys. He shows up in the middle and sticks around for a little bit, gets you some points. He's not going to win, but there's anybody we're picking now isn't going to win. So,
not necessarily.
I know who you're going to pick, Matt, and I was going to take him just to piss you off. But
I don't know if I'm going to pick. I don't know if I'm going to pick him though.
Okay, I don't think we're going to see many NXT guys come up because I think they're in the middle of the Dusty Classic, and a lot of the guys who I think would come up would be there. There's one dude who's been injured for a bit, who I think screams Royal Rumble late, and I just hope he's going to be back. I don't mind taking a flyer on Braun Strowman for this.
Braun Strowman? Okay.
I don't mind it at all. I think it's like kind of off the board.
Somebody's got to clear the ring eventually.
Yeah, and I don't know who it's going to be. I might get 0 points for Braun Strowman, and that sucks. But I do also think like
I don't think you will. I think he'll be back.
I think if he's in it, I'm getting something in the 20s. Like I really do believe that. Yep. So I'm going to finish with Braun Strowman. I'm very happy with my two drafts. I feel very good.
I was happy with my other one.
Matt, last week we did say you putting your foot down to go first would have dire consequences, and I feel like it has.
It doesn't have that dire of consequences because I do think I have the strongest women's draft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's. I
thought you were going to say men's.
Now I'm last, so I'm just gonna start name dropping like a mofo right now. Like
just pick and then name drop.
No, because I don't know who I'm picking, so I'm gonna talk this out. I'm
go ahead.
Verbalize my thought process.
Just keep your gaps tight.
Oh, it will be because I'm gonna rapid fire this.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar not coming back. Wish he would, because he would be a good pick, but I don't think he's coming back.
Yeah, he's actively attempting not to die.
Yes, exactly. Bray Wyatt, I'm not sure that he's a smart pick. So I'm not going to pick him. Randy Orton,
but he has to be in it, right?
And he's got a cool mask now, so I don't think he's going to be in there. I think him and Bray Wyatt are going to have a match at the Rumble and not be in the match. Sami Zayn, I'm hoping he's the Intercontinental Champion by then. A guy like Buddy Murphy could come in and maybe be an Iron Man type guy, but I just don't. He hasn't been on TV that much, and
pick him, Matt.
I'm skeptical there.
Pick him.
I'm not going to.
Miz
Morrison.
No, pick the guy I know you're going to pick.
Who do you think I'm going to pick? Why don't you go and stop being a coward?
Okay, Pat, you guess and I'll... No, wait, because he doesn't know he's going to pick, so we're going to tell him, and then he's going to pick one.
No, I know who I'm going to pick.
All right, Pat, you go first.
Matt's going to pick The Rock.
No, God,
That's dumb. I think Matt's going to pick Damian Priest.
Nope.
Because he hasn't been on TV for 3 weeks.
Dumb.
Matt will give him points. Dumb. That's the guy who's going to be up from NXT. It's Damian Priest.
I agree with Jordan. I don't think The Rock would come back without fans.
Are you taking Lars Sullivan?
God, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Disavow.
So the two guys I'm struggling between, and there's a third guy in there. The safe pick would be to pick Dolph Ziggler. That's the safe pick. Okay, He's going to be in. He's a good talent. I have a roster of good talents right now. He would be a good pick. Jordan's mad right now. Sheamus would be another safe pick.
That is.
Can you just make your pick? God damn.
This is like torture.
Edge isn't coming back, is he?
I'm not telling you anything. Well, you fucking go. Pick someone.
I'm gonna take Aleister Black.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's terrible.
What you worked up
I literally named Sheamus for you, and you're taking Aleister Black.
Dolph Ziggler. You had.
I have the worst draft.
You could have taken Kofi.
A flyer.
You could have taken Kofi Kingston.
Kofi Kingston's not coming back. He's hurt.
Is he hurt?
He's declared. He's declared.
He's declared.
I looked today. He's not declared.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought he was.
Well, either way, Aleister Black's a shitty pick.
It's a bad pick.
If Aleister Black comes back, he's in the top four, or he's in the last four. The final.
No, he's not.
No, you're insane.
100%.
After everything they went through with him, they're gonna.
No.
They're repackaging him.
This
oh my God, can I change my pick?
Yeah,
oh my God, can I change my pick?
No.
Please let me change my pick.
Look, here's my
take Dolph Ziggler. Just let me take.
No, Matt went down with the ship.
Please let me change my pick.
No.
Final four. Pat's final four.
No.
Pat's final four for.
No. Can I please?
No.
Can I please take Dolph Ziggler?
I'm gonna mute him.
No. Yeah. No.
Let me take Dolph Ziggler.
No.
Okay, Pat, go ahead. He's muted.
All right. So.
Okay, now he's unmuted. Stop chatting. Don't chat.
Okay. Recapping, we have I picked Daniel Bryan, Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, Mustafa Ali, and Baron Corbin. Jordan selected Keith Lee, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Andrade, Braun Strowman.
That's a great list. That's such a great list.
Matt selected Nakamura, Big E, Cesaro, Jey Uso, and Aleister Black.
And Dolph Ziggler.
No. Jey Uso
please
was
give
funny.
Me Dolph Ziggler.
Because if Jey Uso's coming back, he's not going to be in the Rumble. He's going straight to Roman.
So you're going to put all the final tallies together from the women's and the men's.
Jey Uso is not the one that's hurt.
Oh, I don't know. How do you know the difference between the two? They're just fucking
because Jay's been on TV for 2 months.
Yeah, fuck
3 months now.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Okay, can I please have Dolph Ziggler?
No.
Give me you guys.
Start picking.
I'm going to take off Aleister Black.
No,
you can pick the guy that I take.
No,
Fine. Okay, fine. The Iron Sheik.
No, it has to be like an actual roster.
No,
guy.
Matt. No.
Okay, no, Pat, I got
Black.
this. Ricochet.
I'll take Ricochet.
You're not getting Ricochet. You're getting Aleister Black. But you better start picking out what snacks you're bringing on the car ride, because Pat and I are going to be the ones.
Well, if you lose, I am for sure bringing something that leaves my fingers extremely dirty.
That I won't get in my car. I'll just rent a car for this.
All right. So once again, we picked women's, we picked men's Royal Rumble selections. Cumulative points together. The two losers will be in a car driving around the perimeter of Winnipeg for 2 straight hours. Guys, the Royal Rumble is on Sunday.
Sure, you don't want to give me Dolph Ziggler,
100%. No. Pat, also, just as a mention, don't forget that the winner will get to pick questions that the losers will have to answer. Pat and Matt, I'm assuming we will be posting all 10 wrestlers for each of us online, so people, if they want to, casually follow along, they can.
And we will be
probably live updating scores after the women's match. We'll tally them up.
You guys want to give me Sheamus?
No, you really should have took Sheamus. Right. I thought that was obvious.
How about Randy Orton? I'll take Randy Orton.
Pat, just close the show. I'll mute him again if we have.
All right. So
just keep talking. I'll just cut anything
follow
he
us
says.
all on Untapped, at Pat Gani, at Gani Matt with 2 T's, at JSCO55. You're going to drink local. You're going to buy local. You're going to support our local businesses. You're going to go follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube. Smash that subscribe button. Matt looks extremely pissed. We will see you next week.
Can I please?
Pat, no. Finish it. Just finish it.
We will have a hard Royal Rumble recap next week here on Bros.
I'll take Mace.